They had been going together since they were 17, all through senior year in high school and after that at the Baptist College in Flemington. But for the lack of money, they would no doubt have already been married by now. Grateful for the relief from physical pain, Robb lay back on the pillow to reflect instead on all the varieties of emotional pain. Now that his parents were dead, he had probably been thinking more deeply about them than he had in all the years of living with them. Certainly he had cared and understood the struggle on their poor little farm. He had pitied Dad's failure with the gas pump when an efficient competitor, a full-service station with trained mechanics, opened in the village. He had helped out every day after school. He had earned enough to pay his own way through college. They had had joy from him. But was that enough? Was there nothing more in life than to rear a child and take pleasure in his pleasure? They had so little for themselves. Mostly he thought about his mother. She must never have slept a full night through. At 5:15 she would be downstairs shaking the fire and clattering the frying pan. The henhouse door used to clack in its flimsy frame when she went for the eggs. She was a country woman. He would always remember her scattering grain to her flock of leghorns, or hoeing the corn in her kitchen garden, where the fleshy squash lay among the rows. It seemed to him, too, that she must sometimes have sat down to read because she could quote poetry. How, given the circumstances of her life, had that ever come about? "You're like your mother," Dad used to say. "She'd have her nose in a book all the time if she could." Lily was like her. She, too, could dream over flowers, and often did. With her childish pug nose and wide smiling mouth, had he not even named her Flower Face? Pink and white and so small that his fingertips could meet around her waist. Flower Face. People are so good, Robb thought. The Wiltons, Isaac and Bess, had taken care of everything while he was in the hospital, from the funeral arrangements to the feeding of the chickens. Between these friends and Lily, with her mother, he had been not fed but overfed. And now through the kitchen door came Lily and Mrs. Webster bearing more nourishment covered with a white towel. "Cornbread," said Mrs. Webster, plunking it down on the table. "Still warm enough if you eat it right away. Heat up the coffee, Lily, and take it out on the porch. It'll do Robb good to sit outside." Both touched and amused, he saw that since his own mother was gone, she was determined to mother him. "I'll be back for you around 4, Lily," Mrs. Webster continued. "The insurance fella said he'll be here at 5, Robb said. "Be sure you don't let him swindle you." Mrs. Webster paused with her hand on the doorknob. Lily gave Robb a twinkling glance. They were both familiar with her mother's prolonged departures. "I suppose you'll sell this place and move into town, won't you? Now, with you at the high school and Lily starting next week at the library, it would seem to make sense." That was true. He was surely not going to raise vegetables, sell eggs, or man the gas pump. The farm would have to go. Perhaps someone else would have better luck with it. He was feeling a touch of sudden melancholy when a rooster crowed. He was a small bird with an arrogant strut, and they had named him Napoleon because he commandeered all the hens. Whoever bought the place would most likely make soup out of him. The melancholy deepened in his chest. Robb said, "I'll miss the place." "Not after the first couple of days," Mrs. Webster said. "You'll get yourself nicely settled and move into a new life." He knew that she understood him, was pleased with him, and was awaiting the marriage with pleasure. Once he and Lily were in their own place, something small, snug, with many windows and many books, she would not interfere with them. She was too smart to do that. Surely she must have known that they had been sleeping together for the last 5 years, yet she had never spoken a word about it. It was 1970, and the world was different from what it had been when she was young. He had not been alone with Lily since the accident, and as soon as Mrs. Webster's car was out of the yard, he ran to her. "In here or out there?" she asked. Out there meant the Wiltons' barn. It was their son Ike who, at 15, with a knowing wink, first suggested the loft as a nice place for you and your girlfriend to be together and talk. Just don't set fire to the hay. "In here," Robb said now. "It's more comfortable." When he pulled down the shades, a liquid green shadow fell over.